Okay, welcome everyone, and thank you so much for coming. This is my absolute pleasure, and my name is Aleksandra, and today I'm going to lead you through a really fascinating topic about success and failure. So please mute yourself. Okay, so once more, welcome everyone. And if you just log in, please mute yourself so there's no background noise. If you do have any question, raise your hand or put it in the chat box, or just unmute yourself, and then I'm gonna listen to you and answer your question. Okay, so even though this is a webinar about success and failure, I'm gonna be going through it. If there's no other questions, I'm just gonna continue as everything is perfect. But if you do have a question, please don't hesitate and just either use a chat box or unmute yourself, and then I'll listen to it. Okay, so right, once again, welcome. And today is a webinar about why most people fail to achieve their goals. So this is all based on science, okay? Science about human potential and growth. So I would like you to participate with me, and if you always ask. So what makes this information different? I'm sure that most of you are open to all sorts of information out there. There is so much information, even when you Google it, when you go on YouTube, there's a vast amount of information about personal growth and success. Why this information is different? Because this is the best science in the world for self-achievement. This is based on ancient knowledge and time-tested results. This information is a direct link to Earl Nightingale and Andrew Carnegie. Does anybody know who is Earl Nightingale or Andrew Carnegie? Anybody heard about those two? Just a quick note about them. So Andrew Carnegie, he was the wealthiest man in 1900. So he was the wealthiest man in the world back in 1900, and then he was a self-made millionaire. So Earl Nightingale is the guy who actually started the topic on human potential and human development. So in 1950s, he started personal growth. He started to teach people how to motivate themselves, how to achieve their goals. And also this information is direct link to every successful person in the past. I've studied most successful people myself. I've read many books, and the same as Earl Nightingale. He has a direct link to Napoleon Hill, who interviewed Andrew Carnegie back in 1903. So this is really goes way beyond those men, and that's why this knowledge is based on science, on human achievement and human success. A little bit about myself, so you know who you are listening to. So my name is Aleksandra, like I've mentioned before. I have a corporate background, so I used to work for corporations in finance mostly. And there was one time when I just felt stuck. So even though I've invested a lot in myself time-wise and money-wise, there was a time in my life about a few years ago that I just felt stuck. Why? Because I worked hard, I was very committed, yet my results were not the same. And my results were not what I wanted, income-wise and time-wise. I worked too many hours, and I didn't have enough money that I wanted to have, and I didn't have the freedom as well. So there was a lot of outbalanced life, and there was some inner voice that said to me, there's something better out there. I was looking for what else can I do, something more meaningful. I just felt like what I was doing there, it was kind of like a robotic, the same old same activity, and I felt like I needed something else. I needed to discover passion. So what I did is probably what most of you do. I went out there and I was looking for answers. Okay, so I've done loads of online training. I've read loads of motivational books. I've attended many seminars trying to find this better way. What else can I do? How can I discover my true passion? How can I make my life easier? And then basically I came across Bob Proctor. So he is a master teacher on human behavior and success. And he's become my mentor. So just making a long story short, he personally mentored me for over a year, and my results started to change very quickly. Just to give you an example, my income has changed within 4 to 5 months. So literally it was doubled and then it was tripled. I found what was holding me back. So I discovered what was really holding me back, which that was my biggest discovery. And once you know what is that you truly want to do, everything else becomes easy. You have that clarity of mind, and that's what I was looking for most. I just wanted to know the answers. I just wanted to know the answers to the questions that were frustrating for most of my life. So basically, I gained clarity, created self-motivation. You know, sometimes it could be you or maybe someone you know that you can do better, but you're missing that motivation, you're missing that drive, and you're thinking, I used to be different, and now this is gone. Why? Where is my passion? How to rediscover it? And it's all about what's in you. It's all about getting to know yourself better. Once you do that, you can speed up your results. Literally get or do anything you want in your life. And I'm not exaggerating it, okay? Because what I have achieved, just to give you an example, what I haven't achieved within a year since I had my mentor and I was working with my mentor, I had not achieved within 10 years of my previous professional experience. Okay, so this is really huge. And this is when I got into teaching this stuff to other people, because I looked around and I thought there are so many people who want the same, right? But we don't know where to start, or we sort of try to do something, and after a while we feel that this is not working, so we give up. Someone has a background noise, guys. If you just can mute yourself, that would be great, okay? So basically, the only difference between people who aim high in life and people who aim low is the way we think. Would you agree on that? Yeah? Okay, good. I can see that you're listening. Fantastic. So again, please feel free if you have any comments or questions meanwhile, okay? Otherwise, I'm just going to keep going. So what's going on? Like, why most people fail and why others succeed? Well, as you probably know, we're trying loads of different routes, right? And same for me. I've done loads of things right. So I've studied, I was committed, I worked hard, but I also done loads of things that were not perfect. So I tried to do it all by myself. How many of you actually feel like you know what to do and you're trying to do everything by yourself, but then in the end, you don't have that result, or in the end, you feel burned out or maybe stuck? How many of you? We study, right? We are open to all sorts of information, and you think and you feel that you know what to do, and you are really fired up. And this happens after like an online maybe webinar that you watch, or maybe a seminar that you go to, or maybe a book that you read. You read the book and you're thinking, oh my gosh, now I know what to do. And you write a plan, you're really committed to it. And then a few days later or a few weeks later, it fizzles. And you don't know what happened. And you invest loads of money and loads of time in it. And it's kind of a few months later, you're pretty much at the same spot as you were before. So the biggest lesson that I've learned, let me just double check. There is a question, which I do like a lot. Yes, Andrea, yes, sometimes I feel stuck. For me, also feeling fear when approaching new people. Absolutely. Fear plays a huge part in it. Thank you so much for this comment, Andrea. So fear is something that can paralyze us if we don't understand what's fear. What is fear? Anybody would like to share with us what is fear and why do we get that fear? Why fear is present? It's an interesting one, isn't it? We never really think about it, right? So sometimes it's like, I know I'm scared, but I don't know why, so it's better if I don't do it because it's safer here. And actually, if we don't understand what fear is, then we back up, we go back to where we were because it feels safe, right? So let me tell you what fear is. Fear is always going to be present every single time when you're about to make a decision about something that you've never done before. And that is great. Once you understand that one point, one sentence, this has changed my perception about fear forever. Every single time when you are about to make a decision or step out of your comfort zone, fear is gonna kick in. You're gonna feel uncomfortable. You're gonna be questioning your abilities. Can I do it? Do I really need it? Maybe I'm not ready. Maybe this is not a good time. I should wait when I'm ready, right? This is your self-talk, your inner talk, because we don't understand fear. So most of us, when they have that fear present, they just back off. They just go back to where they were. However, when you understand what fear is a part of growth. Fear will always be present when you are growing, when you're pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. So next time, when you're about to make that decision about something great, when you're about to step out of your comfort zone, when you're about to make a decision about going towards your dream, expect fear. Welcome fear. Know that once the fear is present, you're going towards the right direction. Fear is good, okay? And that was a great question. And this is something that also helped me to understand why I never really achieved what I wanted to achieve quicker. So pretty much when I worked with my mentor, it was like a shortcut to success. And I don't know about you guys, but I was trying to get there for many, many years. And until someone actually said to me, Alex, this is what's going on. This is what's happening with you. Every single time you're about to make a big and important decision, then I stopped stopping myself from going further. I didn't stop feeling the fear because the fear is never going to go away, but you become comfortable with it. And this is the great part of it. You become comfortable feeling uncomfortable, and that's the beauty, right? So again, why most people fail in achieving their goals? And most people, what I mean is research shows is about 80% of people. Almost 80% of people are never going to earn the amount of money they would like to earn. And 80% of people will never really feel fully happy with their lives. Isn't it sad? A little bit, isn't it? It's a little bit, destroying. Like when you think about it, oh my gosh, is it really true? But yes, it is. When you're honest with your results and with your life, you can observe a pattern. Go back 2 years ago, 5 years ago. Do you have the same pattern in trying to do better stuff, in trying to achieve better results? Did you actually achieve it? And again, you don't have to wait years for the results to change. When you know what you're doing, your results change very quickly. And I'm talking within months. Within months, you can change any area of your life. Income, relationship, self-fulfillment, happiness, anything, okay? But we gotta know what to do. So the top reasons why most people fail, number one, is most people set up wrong goals. What do I mean by setting up wrong goals? It's a bit of a shock, isn't it, for some? I can see the faces. Most people They going after not what they really want, but they going after what they think they can get. They aim too low. If I only get that pay rise at work, only by, let's say, a couple of thousand, so I could, live more comfortably, just to pay my bills on time. Most people aim too low. That sort of goal is not gonna motivate you. It's not gonna drive you. It's not gonna excite you. So that's why when we set up goals like that, most of the time we give up halfway through because you don't feel inspired by your own goals. We gotta aim higher. What's the reason number two? Reason number two is that there is lack of motivation. How many of you can just answer it to yourself, how many of you wake up every morning feeling super excited about the day ahead, super motivated, thinking, this is it, I'm gonna make it happen, and that's the day when I'm gonna succeed? I feel super motivated today. How many of you feel like that?
So the remote should be over here.
So you can answer it to yourself. Like, those questions are really good for everyone to actually spend a few seconds right now to think about it. Are you super motivated these days, or do you think there's something missing? Where I used to be in the past, lack of motivation was my major reason why I couldn't get further, why I couldn't push through my mental barriers. So what is motivation? Motivation, it's not something we're born with. We create motivation. We can change it. We can learn how to become motivated. And there are two main reasons of actually creating that motivation. So we have to dream big. Again, remember when you were little kids, you used to dream big. You had that desire of who you wanted to be when you were an adult. And what happens, Les? Yes, okay, and Andrea, you're saying you're still missing something, lack of motivation and excitement. We gotta create it, we can create it, right? How do we create motivation? We dream big. What is that you truly want? You gotta decide. It's almost like in a connection with number one, not aiming high enough, not knowing what we want. So that's why there is no motivation in you. There is no drive. You gotta start dreaming big, and you gotta expect to win. You gotta have that expectation that whatever you're going after, you're there to win. And that's really, really important, okay? What's number three? Setting and achieving goals are two different things, okay? So what do I mean by that? Setting and achieving goals are two different things. Anybody has an idea? What's the difference between setting and achieving goals? What's setting goals? Setting goals is sort of deciding on what is that you want, right? So number one, deciding what is that you want. Do you guys know what you want? Do you have a goal in life? The knowing doing gap, yes, that's a great one. So that's something that we can probably talk about a bit more next time, the knowing doing gap. We know what we want, but the doing part is very different, right? So the doing part is in our subconscious. So setting a goal, deciding what is that you want, takes place in your conscious mind, your educational mind, okay? So remember, guys, educational mind is gathering information. After a while, you sort of think you know what you want because you gather information. However, achieving goals, getting there, it's a totally different case. Achieving goals has something to do with your behavior. What controls your behavior? Your behavior is controlled by your subconscious mind, a different part of the mind than setting your goal. Setting your goal is your educational mind. Achieving your goal is your subconscious mind, the doing part, the behavior. The way you act, the decisions you make or lack of decisions is reflecting what's going on in your subconscious mind. And that is where you have your programming when it comes to beliefs and ideas you have about yourself. So in order to achieve goals that you want, you have to understand yourself. You have to understand what sort of programming do I have on my subconscious level. What sort of beliefs do I have? You got to understand it. Without knowing what's holding you back, you can't fix it. And please understand, if you are frustrated with not achieving what you want, it's not because you're not smart enough. It's not because you're not ready. It's just because you need to dig deeper and understand what sort of beliefs you operate with. And that's a huge part in understanding, okay? So Andrea says, achieving goals has to do with reprogramming the subconscious mind. Yes. And that's where the paradigm is. Absolutely, yes. That's what it is. Reprogramming yourself. So the good news is that whatever your beliefs are, you can change them. That's the good news. You can change it. And that's what we can do. You know, everything happens using a process of changing your beliefs. Once you change your beliefs about yourself and your personal achievement, you will change your results. And that's what happened to me a few years ago. All I had to do is to understand what's holding me back and change the way I think. Thinking, guys, it's a habit. The way you think right now, it's a habit. We all operate with habits. You wake up in the morning, you go through your day, it's a habitual behavior, right? You sometimes don't even think about what you're doing because everything is programmed. You wake up and you go autopilot, boom, boom, boom. You drive to work, you don't even think about how you drive a car because it's a habit. You've learned it a long time ago. You've done it so many times that you operate on autopilot. You might be driving thinking about something else. You might be driving and talking on the phone. You might be driving and doing other stuff as well. I'm not saying it's good, but that's what we do because driving is a habit. It goes on autopilot. Then you get to work and you think, oh, okay, I'm here. I don't remember the road, but I'm here. It's the same with our thinking. Our thinking is a habit. And I'm going to come back to it later on, but just to let you know right now, the only difference between high achievers, and I don't mean just someone who earns a little bit more than I do, but those high achievers, the people that really live comfortable and happy life. I'm not just talking about money, but self-fulfillment as well. The only difference between those people and the masses, the average person who is trying hard, the only difference is the way they think. That's it. When you change your thinking, you change your results because your results are driven by your behavior, and your behavior is controlled almost exclusively by the way you think, your habits, your beliefs, okay? What's number 4? Number 4 is wasting energy on non-productive activities. And that is a part of why people don't achieve their goals, because they spend too much time on doing things that don't bring the results they should have. That they're just wasting loads of energy. They're being all over the place. Is it your day, perhaps? Maybe you're trying to accomplish certain tasks and then you end up thinking, I haven't done it. I'm almost avoiding the important tasks, right? I've been there so many times, so I'm talking from my own experience. Wasting energy, it's all about what do I put energy towards? How do I organize my time? It's not about time management. And many people say, oh, you gotta, learn how to manage the time. We can't manage time. There's no such a thing as time management. We can only manage our activities. We can only manage how we think, how we plan our day ahead. But if our pretty much the way we do and go through the day, this is either in an organized manner or disorganized. This is all reflecting of our mind. If our mind is all over the place, it's in a confused state, in a messy state, that's how our day is going to look like. That's how my desk is going to look like, and everything that surrounds me. Because if I'm all over the place in my own head, I'm going to be reflecting this with my behavior. The quickest part, the quickest, I would say, tool to use is watch people's behavior and yourself. The way you behave, this is how you think on a subconscious level. It's a beautiful statement and it's true. Observe how people behave and you can see what's going on inside of their mind. And the last reason I want to talk about today, not the last at all, but last, like top 5, is, which is not the least, I would say is also very important, is that we all have beliefs patterns that hold us back from discovering our true potential. And that is huge. Did you know, or have you ever wondered, where does your belief come from? Where do our beliefs come from? Why do I think the way I do? Why do I hold certain beliefs about myself? Where do they come from? They are, in a big way, passed from one generation to another. We are conditioned in a certain way. Okay? So when we are little kids, we are exposed to certain, our parents, teachers at school, certain ways of society thinks, perhaps. Yes, like Andrea said, parents and environment, absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for being so proactive. It's so much fun that you're participating. So that's exactly where it comes from. But do we actually think about it? Do we question our beliefs? Do I ever spend time thinking, is my belief the right one or not? Does it serve me or does it limit me? Most of our beliefs limit us. The only limitation, this is a quote that I read a long time ago, the only limitations we have is the ones that we impose on ourselves. That's huge. Can I do it or can I not? Am I ready or am I not? Those beliefs you just hold about yourself. I'm just gonna wait for the right time and the right moment. I'm just gonna wait when I have more money. I'm just gonna wait, and we just postpone it all the time because we have a belief that I'm not ready. If I don't have all the answers right now, I'm not ready to start a business. Is that a part of perhaps your life story? That we think about what we can do, but we don't really act on it because we think it's not the right time, because we think that the right time is gonna come, the right opportunity is gonna come. I can save you some time, guys, and trust me on that because I've been there for many, many, many years. That right opportunity and right time is never gonna come until you create it. Until you create it. And I've got another comment from Andrea, and thank you so much. Since she started TIR, which is, personal growth program, she's begun her journey of questioning her beliefs. And that's what it is. The moment when we become aware of what is holding us back, this is the only time that you can start changing it. And again, some of our beliefs are fantastic. Some of our beliefs that I can do it, I'm pretty much, I'm self-confident, I'm courageous, and all sorts of that stuff like that. They are absolutely great. But there are other beliefs that perhaps hold us back, and they're not true. They don't reflect your true potential. And that is so huge. even if we just spend a few minutes each day to think about that, think about your habits, think about how you think, how you behave, what are your beliefs, what sort of ideas you operate with on a daily basis, that would help you a lot in really changing your results, being aware of it, becoming aware of it. But instead of doing that, what do? We wake up and we go through the day. We rush through the day, especially these days. Everything is just faster, more and more, deadlines coming up, more stuff to do all the time. And then, 1 week is gone, a month is gone, a year is gone, few years is gone. I work with so many people that tell me, I thought about that changing myself or working on myself for the past 2-3 years, or I thought about quitting my job for the past 5 years. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this is the time that they're never gonna get it back. But again, that's exactly what I did. I was thinking, I was hoping for something to happen, especially at the beginning of New Year. We hope that this year is gonna be better than the last year. How many times do we say that to our friends and family? I hope this year is gonna be better for me. Hoping and wishing is not going to change your results. This is the truth. It might be a little bit harsh to face that truth, but that's the truth. So I would always say, don't take my word as complete truth, but really test it yourself. Think about your own life. Really think about it, because that might be, this moment right now, might be the breaking point in your life as well as it was in mine a few years ago. But we gotta do it. No one's gonna do it for us. We gotta really think about it. We really have to make a decision. Am I gonna act on it or not? Am I gonna do something about my beliefs or not? So that's, those things are holding us back. Those things are making most people unsuccessful. But it's not about criticizing anybody. It's literally, I am talking from my own experience. And, we all here for a reason, right? Because we want more. We want something more out of life. Maybe more happiness, maybe more money, maybe better relationships, more fulfilling relationships. Maybe finding that passion. Maybe discovering what is that I really want to do in life. So we all want something, right? That's why we're here, and that's the beautiful part. We take in action. And again, that's what I tried to do in the past, but I did it hard way. I spent loads and loads of money on online training, seminars, trying different jobs. I mean, I changed jobs a few times in my life because I thought, well, this is not me, it's just my employer. This is not me, it's just the economy. And I was, requalifying all the time. That cost me loads of money and loads of time. Again, something I'm never gonna get back. And I spent 8 years trying my hard, trying to do my best. But what I was missing understanding. I was missing this crucial information about that the only thing that I have to work with is myself. This is the only thing that was limiting me. It wasn't economy, it wasn't my employer, it wasn't anything else, it wasn't other people, it was just me. I didn't know what I wanted, and then I didn't know how to get there. With time, when we try hard to read more books, try to get more information, there's still a huge part that's missing in most seminars, in most online training, is that the knowing part has nothing to do with the doing part. The knowing part, and I'm gonna say it again, is your educational mind. You go through life and you gather more information. You speak to other people. What do you think I should do? They give you some information. But that information is only based on their experience. Why would you take someone else's experience and take it as a truth And if they say to you, oh, that business idea is not going to work because I've tried it, it's not going to work, the economy is not good, why would you believe them? And you would not listen to your own self. So again, we go through life and we gather information. We know more. Most trainings that we do is gathering information. But knowing is not enough. Knowing what to do is not enough. How many people know what to do in many areas of life? I know I have to change my job. I know I have to go on diet. I know I have to exercise. I know I have to eat healthier. People know that stuff. And I'm sure you know that you got to do something. And maybe you don't even know what to do. Maybe you even know what to do. The question is, do you actually do it? Do you do it? And the answer is, I'm guessing, yes, like some people say, no. Why don't we do it? Because the doing part is the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind, your beliefs and ideas and habits that you have in your subconscious mind dictate your behavior. It absolutely dictates your behavior. How many times you promised yourself, this time I'm gonna make it happen, right? And then nothing happens. Or maybe you do it for a few days, or maybe a couple of weeks, right? Yes. And then again, you give up and the results are the same and you're frustrated with yourself. I've done it so many times. Stop being frustrated with yourself. If you're not programmed to do certain things, you're not gonna do them. That's being aware of it. And it's not a disastrous, okay? This is not end result. The good news is that you can change it. We can learn, we can unlearn, we can relearn, we can do that. That's the beauty of the process. But we gotta know what to learn and we gotta know how to unlearn, right? It's a process. It is a process and it's an easy process once you know what to do. So do you guys want an easy way that does not require you to ever keep searching for those answers? I'm sure you do, right? Because that's what I wanted too. I was absolutely tired and frustrated with all the information out there and my results were not what I wanted. So an easy way, trust me on that, please, because I spent many, many years trying to do it by myself. If you are already into personal growth and motivation and all that stuff, you may know that there is no shortcut to success, right? It's not like you're just gonna read a book and the next day you're gonna wake up and everything's gonna work out beautifully for you. That would be amazing, right? Or go somewhere and it's kind of like a transition of information and then the next day you're like a totally different person. So it does not work like that. However, and like I said before, there is no shortcut to success. You gotta do your work. However, if there was one, if there was a shortcut, is to work with someone to really help you to understand who you are and what you are capable of doing. Use a person who has demonstrated it. And the results, they show the results that they've actually know what they talk about. Use their knowledge because they will tell you straight away, just like my mentor said to me, this is what's holding you back. He helped me to understand me. He helped me to understand how I can achieve my goals. Not only how do I know what I want, because that was also a big part of my growth, deciding what is that I want, but also after that, achieving my goals. That's the second part, that part that most people miss out on. That's the shortcut to success. Use people's knowledge. You know, I've had my mentor and that's when my life changed, and that's what I'm doing for other people right now as well. Use that knowledge of these people who can easily tell you what to do on a daily basis. So the next few months, your results can change. You got to do it. You know, and in the past, I'm just going to tell you a quick story. In the past 30 days only, because I've been doing this for a few years now, but in the past 30 days, my clients keep telling me what a shift they have already experienced. You know, sometimes you don't even have to wait a few years for that. It happens quickly. It really does. You know, if I will tell you that, you know, I've changed my life within 4 months, 4 months, would you think that's a long time or a short time? To me, that was a short time, because I spent years trying to discover what is that I wanted, trying to discover how to achieve my goals. I spent years. So 4 months to actually changing every area of my life is quick for me. Not just knowing what to do, but actually achieving it. 2 months was my first breakthrough. I literally knew how to do it. And then the next 2 months, I proved it. Income-wise, relationships, health was always okay. But again, depending what is that you want. And results, your results, what do I mean by results? It's everything in your life, everything. Is your income, is your relationships, the way you are with people, the way you behave, the way, you know, do you make decisions quickly, or are you a procrastinator? That's a result as well of your thinking. You know, are you healthy? Are you happy? Are you fulfilled? These are all results in our life. And if any of these areas are not the way you want it, is because you don't know something. That's it. It's not because you're not capable of doing it or changing it. Yes, you are. You're more than capable of doing it. But you're just missing out on something. And that something is a part of you. You're just missing out on understanding what's holding you back, and then how to change it, and that's it. You know, and results that we have, that we achieve, are not typical at all. You know, there are really huge results when you really tap into your potential. You can truly achieve anything you want. And that's why we're here for, right? To make our life easier. And we can. We absolutely can. There are certain rules that govern that achievement. There are rules. It doesn't happen by accident. You know, sometimes when we observe successful people, or maybe you know someone who's not as intelligent or as educated as you are, but they're a lot successful, you're thinking, how does it happen? You know, how come I'm studying so much and I'm working so much and I work so hard? How come they're more successful than I am? They maybe earn more money, or maybe they have better relationships. How come? Because there are certain rules. And if you don't know those rules, you're going to be going through your life on a hit and miss basis. Sometimes it's going to be good, sometimes not so. And if that's what you want, fine. But I would say there's more to it. There's more out there. And I'm sure that this is what you feel like as well. Right? There is more stuff out there. There's some inner voice that's telling you there must be a better way, there must be an easier way, and there is. It's knowing what to do, is that information. When you know what to do, it's like an instruction. Just imagine you bought a product and it has an instruction with it. If you follow that instruction, you're going to have the best use out of this product, right? But if you just kind of try to experiment it by yourself without reading instruction, first of all, you may break it. Second of all, you're probably not going to even use full functions that the product offers you. It's the same with you. Think of yourself as this perfect machine, perfect, a human being that has so much potential to offer. If you don't know how to use your mental faculties, if you don't understand how your brain works, if you don't understand your mental faculties and how they work, the chances are that you're not going to use your potential fully. The chances are you're going to work hard instead of smart. And that's what most of us do. But it's not right. And it doesn't have to be that way. I'm going to run through these quickly just to really show you this is a proof of only few people that changed the results very quickly because they were open to develop themselves into a better person. One of my clients said that, you know, he's a trader. So again, our results are direct reflection of what's going on inside of us. Once we start thinking differently, your results follow. So he just says he used to have up and down results. You know, one time it was a very good day, another day or month was very bad. It was because of lack of clarity in his mind. And it doesn't matter what you do, it's reflected in everything you do. You know, so we are talking about huge successes. We're talking about from someone who was a little bit lost to someone who they knew what they wanted to do in life. You know, someone who was earning an okay money to someone who actually earns 5 times more, 10 times more. It's all about the way we think. Yes, we're talking a lot about money here, but it's not just about money, but money is a huge part of it, right? If someone says to me, oh, money is not important, they are probably broke. They are probably broke because people who have a lot of money, they know money is important, right? It's a tool that we can use to have a better life, and our family can have a better life. So these results change hugely. Absolutely. You know, it's not just about money. Again, another client says, you know, she was trying to diet for months and months and nothing worked. Again, everything is here in your mindset. If you see yourself as a person who has to go on a diet and lose a few pounds, I promise you, when you stop dieting, you're gonna get those pounds back. Whatever you lose, you can get it back, you know, and that's the law. Thank you, Katie. That's okay. Thank you. I can send everybody who is late or needs to go earlier, I'm going to send the recording, so don't worry, okay? So again, being more productive, being more effective, being happier, everything is depending on how you think. Everything. Thinking is a habit, okay? So if you want to improve your results at work, you got to think in a different way. If you want to improve your income, you got to think in a different way. If you want to improve your relationships, you got to think in a different way. And the good news is we can learn how to think in that way. We can absolutely learn, because this information is powerful, absolutely powerful. But if you're not open to learning about that, I will tell you that you're going to be stuck where you are right now. You know, and that's the truth. You got to be open to it. You got to be open to learning. You got to be open to actually say, that's what I want to do. I want to improve myself and I want to improve my results. A quick question for you guys, everyone. We have a few minutes left, so we can spend like a few seconds on that. You can answer it either in a chat box or to yourself. How would you spend your day if money or time was not an issue? Think about it for a second. And really dare to dream big. You may be a person that thinks about it a lot, but you may be a person that doesn't even think about it, because the moment when you think about it, you say, oh no, I don't have enough money, I don't have enough time, this is just not the right time for me. But really, if there was no limitations, and if I said to you, just open up your mind, how would you spend your day if money or time was not an issue? What would you do? Just think about it right now for a few seconds. What would you do? This is a very important question to ask yourself. If you don't spend time thinking about that question, you're never gonna get there. Your life is just gonna be the way it is right now. Same old same. So asking that yourself that question is very important. I have an answer which is amazing. I would be traveling around the world. Fantastic. How would you feel when you say that? You feel good, right? You feel good, because that's what it is. When we live our dream life, it feels good. When I started to think differently, I've become such a happy person. Honestly, and that's what you can do. Waking up each morning and actually loving the day ahead. That's what can happen to you. So what would happen if you're just gonna walk away from, let's say, this webinar and do nothing about it, do nothing about your life, do nothing about your habits, do nothing about anything going forward, what do you think is going to happen if you just walk away today from this webinar and just think, okay, that was interesting, that was, you know, interesting information, I've made a few notes, I can go back to my notes later on, but you're going to walk away and do nothing? What do you think is going to happen? Nothing is going to happen. Nothing is going to happen. Nothing is going to change in your life, and nothing is going to happen. You may think you know what to do now, but I promise you, and trust me on that because I've done it before, if you change nothing, nothing will change in your life. If you change nothing about yourself, your habits or certain beliefs, your results will not change. If you want to take one statement from this webinar, please pay attention. Take this statement. Our results are a direct reflection of what's going on inside of our mind. That's what it is. It's not another person, it's not economy, it's not your employer, it's nothing else that surrounds you, it's you. You cause your results. You cause the results. What I mean, the amount of money you earn, that's direct reflection of what's going on inside of your mind when it comes to money. So there is money belief that you hold, perhaps, right? So there is really something that is holding you back. If you're not living the life you truly want, it means that you really have to change yourself. That's huge, okay? You gotta face it. You gotta face the truth and be honest with yourself, and that's gonna be the best time in your life so far. That's what had happened to me a few years ago when I was honest with myself, and I said to myself, you know what, Alex, this is not what I want to have in my life. That's not what I expected to have a few years ago. And that time, that moment when I became honest with myself, this is when I made a decision to do something about it. On the other hand, what do you think may happen if you commit yourself to studying you? If you commit yourself and let me show you the way that will help you to break through your mental barriers. Because all that really limits you is just your mental barriers, nothing else. That's what was holding me back. That was what was holding my mentor back. If you just allow yourself for someone to show you the quicker way, the better way, I promise you the result in your life will change quickly. And you don't even know where this is going to take you. That's the beauty. You don't even know. But if you do nothing about it, it's almost so predictable what's going to happen next. Pretty much the same as it was for the past few months. What do you get when you work with a mentor? This is also very important, and I would like you to really think about it. You know, when we go to the gym, and we can do the work by ourselves, right? But when you actually go to the gym and you have a personal trainer, what happens with your results? How does the personal trainer help you? They push you through your mental barriers. If someone said to you, you gotta do 20 push-ups, they're gonna be standing there and saying, go, go, go. That motivates you, right? But if you just went to the gym and just kind of be like, okay, today I'm gonna do 20 push-ups, and there's nobody around, would you do it? That would be a lot harder. When you're self-motivated, you might do it, but that's gonna be a lot harder. But when you have someone next to you and they tell you exactly what to do, then you don't have to think what to do, you just follow it, right? Follow it. That's all. So imagine the same when it comes to personal growth. If you gotta do it yourself, you might do it. I'm not saying you're not gonna be successful. You might be successful, but it's gonna take you more time. You're gonna be by yourself. The chances are that you may be discouraged at some point. But when you work with someone who knows exactly what you're going through and how to change it, your results are gonna change dramatically and very quickly. You're also going to get this powerful knowledge that's been out there for hundreds of years, but only a few know it, because only a few people are very successful. Only about 5% of people really made it, right? I think there's, depending on statistics, but there's about 3% to 5% of people that earn the 97% of money that's being earned. This is not a coincidence. Those people know something different to the masses. And again, if you don't know what to do, how do you know what to change? But if you have a highly structured process, if someone says to you, this is how you do it, A to B, B to C, C to D, and so on, you know exactly what to do. You're not confused anymore. You have a clarity, you have a guidance. When you have a guidance and support, what happens next? You get the results you want, right? You get the results you want. And also when you work with similar minded people, what happens? You become more motivated. You have someone you can talk to because you know that they understand what you're going through. This is the support system. That is huge. That made a huge difference in my results as well. Have you heard a quote, or even did you think about a fact that you become the person, like 5 people that you spend most time with? Think about it. Who do you spend most time with? Are these people who are successful? Are these people who can motivate you, who can show you better ways to do stuff? Or are these people who are just okay, or maybe complain a lot and you complain with them? You don't know that, right? So it's really important to think about that stuff. So what do you gotta do next? If you haven't already, you gotta act now, okay? And what you have to do, contact me and we can schedule a discovery session. So you can email me. Here is the email address. So a.wrzos@yahoo.com, or you can send me a text and we can schedule a session, okay? So we're gonna finish up in a couple of minutes. And what I really would like you to know and understand that we shouldn't wait, we shouldn't delay, we shouldn't hesitate, okay? Because it is about your life and your life results. Yes, Andrea. This is as well a part of it, is this. So it is about, becoming a part of something bigger, okay, here. And the great quote that I know and I've come across is, change happens when the pain of staying the same becomes greater than the pain of making that change itself. Okay, so think about that quote. Change happens when the pain of staying the same becomes greater than the pain of making that change itself. So it's almost like sometimes we're waiting for that disaster to happen before we make a decision of actually reaching further, reaching for that change. But why would you wait until then? Why don't you just want to do something right now, right? So it's all about making decisions, it's all about acting. It's all about really going after what you truly want. Okay? So this is so important, to spend few seconds, few minutes today, right now after this webinar, and just really go through your patterns of thinking, go through your beliefs, reevaluate them, become aware of your beliefs, because this can be a huge and turning point in your life, okay? Decision-making process is also a habit, is also that people can learn to do. Am I a quick decision maker or am I a procrastinator? It's a habit. And Napoleon Hill in his book says, successful people make decisions quickly and change them very slowly, if ever. Unsuccessful people make decisions very slowly and change them often and quickly. And that's a great part. Am I a decision maker or am I a procrastinator? This is a part of you. This is who we are right now. And this is what drives our results. So what do I gotta do? I gotta face my results. I gotta be honest with myself. I gotta make a decision to do something about it now, not tomorrow, not in a week or in a month, because this is your life. Stop procrastinating, act now, because nothing happens until you act on your decisions. Okay, so hopefully it was a really good and joyful webinar for you today. And the 5 points, if I asked you right now, what was the 5 points? Would you remember that? I hope you do. If you don't, if it's like a blank page right now because it's like, oh, it was a few minutes ago, you can have a chance to watch this webinar again. Like I said before, it's recorded, so I'm going to post it to you. Go through it again and again. The best part is if you can list 5 things that hold people back from achieving their goals. If you can list it right now, that's good. But if you can't, it means that maybe your mind wandered, or maybe you just need to watch this webinar again, because it's through repetition that we really start understanding ourselves. It's not just about knowing, because you may think that, yes, I know what to do, I've heard it, but if you can't repeat it, if you can't teach it another person, it means you don't fully understand it, okay? So once again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here with me. It's been, as always, a pleasure. I'm going to post this video later on to you, so you can share it with your friends, with your family, with anybody that you can think can help. Watch it again for yourself. And again, if you do have any questions, you can always contact me on my email, or email me and schedule a session. Thank you so much for being very proactive, Andrea, as well. And until next time, thanks again and have a wonderful day. Thank you, guys. Bye now.